Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I took like a hiatus from YouTube for a minute. I was just going through some stuff, you know, but I'm back. I know in the last video that was about narcissistic abuse from parents, I basically concluded with advice on like how to get out of a narcissistic abuse household, like the situation, what to do to recover from it, from the abuse. But this video, I just wanted to get a little bit more in detail about what the narcissistic personality disorder actually comes from, like how it manifests psychologically from people's childhood trauma, because not everybody really knows about that personality disorder, but some people think that it's just like they think it's more so like a personality disorder where someone is really like obsessed with themselves and takes pictures of themselves a lot, when that's not really the case. It's really a psychological disorder, whereas though it is a imbalance of the ego because of trauma. So it is a mental condition. It's a mental condition where someone has an inflated sense of ego, and it usually results in a lack of empathy towards other people. Usually the narcissist does not understand that other people have feelings and needs and wants outside of theirs, and they have an excessive need for attention from others. Also, there's usually a power struggle between them and other people, because they like to be dominant, they like to be in control of other people, and they like to treat people like objects. Also, not everybody knows this, but even though they have an inflated sense of self, like they look like people that have high self-esteem, but deep down they really don't. Like deep down they're very insecure because they don't have a healthy like sense of self. Like their self-esteem is not all that high as much as people think it is. But I just wanted to inform people on how the personality manifests from childhood. They were either excessively pampered or spoiled in their childhood, and their parents helped them believe that they had special privileges. They probably made this child feel like they were entitled to anything they want, like they could get anything they want. They didn't help the child balance a sense of understanding that other people have needs. Like you can't take and take and take and take. Like you're not here. It's not just about you. Like the parents made it all about that child, and it made the child believe that, you know, they're the most important person in everyone's life that's around them. Because most people that have narcissistic personality disorder, they have this sense of importance in everyone's lives that's around them. They feel like the world revolves around them, in a sense. Another way that the narcissistic personality disorder can manifest in childhood is through extreme emotional abuse or extreme physical abuse. Also through extreme like neglect, like inconsistency in nurturing as far as the child is concerned. The parent may very well be a narcissist as well. And because of this, the parent can't emotionally connect to the child. So as a result, the child doesn't get as much consistent nurturing as a child who has a healthy emotional connection with their parent. So like I said, it can manifest in emotional abuse from a parent, physical abuse from a parent. Also, inconsistent nurturing from a parent. You know, one day the parent may give the child everything they need, you know, to survive. And then the next day, you know, the child may be neglected, or, you know, the child may not get as much affection as they did before. You know, it's very inconsistent as far as the type of attention that they get from their parents. So now when they grow up, people that develop narcissistic personality disorder in their childhood from inconsistent nurturing, when they grow up, they become an adult that has a problem with emotionally connecting with other people, because the fear of abandonment. You know, there's abandonment issues that go on as far, you know, so they have a hard time connecting with other people when they get into when they become an adult and they have relationships with other people. Narcissistic personality disorder is it is a psychological thing, but I have to inform other people because it can become a cycle. You know, if you say, you know, the person that does have the parent that is a narcissist, they can very well end up being a narcissist as well, because of how they had to train themselves to be somebody else in order to survive in that type of environment. And as they get older, they feel like they have to still keep this up. They still have to keep this false image up as they get older, because they don't really know how to connect with people, and they don't necessarily, I'm not going to say they don't necessarily know themselves, but because, again, the ego is imbalanced, they have a hard time with being their selves. They have a hard time with being their true selves because of how they couldn't be themselves because of the abuse that they got from childhood. You know, they had to learn how to survive so they could, you know, cope with the type of abuse that they were getting in their childhood. So I just want you guys to understand that. I hope this helps someone. I hope this video basically explain what, you know, the narcissistic personality disorder is for anyone who does have a narcissistic parent. It's just for you to get a better understanding. It's just for you to get a better understanding on how this really works, like how it psychologically affects people, because I know that type of abuse is bizarre and is mind-boggling for some people who do have a healthy sense of self, or who do have empathy, you know, people who do understand that other people have feelings. But it's just something to know, you know, because they're human, and the reason that they are like that is because it's because they choose to. I'm not going to say they don't choose to, but it is definitely as a result of trauma. So it takes a while for the narcissist to basically heal from that. It does take a while for a narcissist to actually acknowledge that they have a problem. Like it's hard for a narcissist to actually acknowledge that they do have a personality disorder, because, again, because of the inflated sense of self, the inflated ego, the imbalance of the ego, it is hard for them to basically admit that they need help in some kind of way, in any way. You know, it's hard for them to admit that they need help. So I hope this did help someone, you know, as far as understanding that their parent was abused as well in their childhood, just to give just to give you a little bit more understanding, You know what I mean? So that you don't walk away unhealed. I'm not going to say unhealed, so that you don't walk away from this with any resentment or anything like that. I just want people to understand, you know, people have trauma. It doesn't mean that you have to be a doormat or anything, but it does help someone who has been abused by a narcissist understand that they were traumatized as well. You know, hurt people hurt people. Once the narcissist can get the healing that they need, then, you know, you can move forward with getting really close to them or developing some type of relationship with them. But as far as I know, a lot of narcissists have a hard time admitting that they need help. So you might just have to like distance yourself. You just have to love them from afar. You get what I'm saying? So hopefully, again, this helps someone. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also share as well. Please share this video. I do want people to understand, you know, how narcissism actually starts, how it comes about, how it manifests, so that we can heal from it, so we can heal from it ourselves, so we don't have to walk away feeling bitter and angry and feeling some type of way, because at the end of the day, they were traumatized as well. You know, this is helping you along your self-love journey, and this is helping you along your healing journey. That's the whole point of me even mentioning or going into detail about narcissistic personality disorder, okay? Bye, guys.